Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into an amazing comparison between ancient wisdom and modern psychology. We're exploring 10 life-changing teachings from the Bhagavad Gita and how they line up with cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT for short. You might be wondering, how can a 5,000-year-old spiritual text relate to a modern psychological practice? Well, as it turns out, these two worlds overlap more than you might think. For those unfamiliar, the Bhagavad Gita is a spiritual classic that has influenced millions across the world. It's a dialogue between Prince Arjuna and Lord Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, covering topics like duty, righteousness, and the nature of the self. And CBT, on the other hand, is a modern psychological approach that helps people change negative thought patterns to improve mental health. The two might seem worlds apart, but their messages are surprisingly aligned. Let's jump into the first teaching, control of the mind. In chapter 6, verse 6, the Gita says, "For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy." Just like in CBT, the Gita emphasizes that mastering your thoughts is key. In CBT, we learn that controlling how we think can help manage negative emotions and behaviors. Both teach that the mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Number 2, focus on the present. In chapter 2, verse 47, Krishna says, "You have the right to work, but never to the fruit of work." Just like mindfulness in CBT, this teaching tells us to stay focused on the task at hand, not on worrying about outcomes. Stay engaged in the process, not the results. Next up is detachment from outcomes. The Gita says not to let the fruits of your actions be your motive. This ties in with CBT's principle of focusing on what's within your control. In both systems, the idea is to act without being consumed by whether you'll succeed or fail. This helps reduce anxiety and stress. Fourth, we have understanding and changing thought patterns. In chapter 6, verse 5, the Gita tells us to elevate ourselves through our mind, and CBT is all about reprogramming our thoughts to improve how we feel and behave. Both the Gita and CBT teach that our thoughts have power, and by changing negative patterns, we can reshape our reality. Number 5, equanimity in success and failure. In chapter 2, verse 48, the Gita talks about having an even mind, no matter the outcome. In CBT, resilience is a major focus, accepting both the highs and lows without letting them dictate your emotional state. Sixth on the list is self-responsibility. The Gita says a wise person sees action in inaction and inaction in action. In CBT, we take responsibility for how our thoughts shape our behavior. Both encourage personal accountability and the idea that we have control over how we experience life. Number 7 is about overcoming desires and attachment. In chapter 2, verse 62, the Gita explains how attachment can lead to negative emotions like anger. CBT similarly teaches that attachment to specific outcomes or desires can cause emotional pain. It's all about learning to let go. Next up is acceptance of life's dualities, pleasure and pain. The Gita teaches us that both are temporary, just like the changing seasons. CBT echoes this idea, encouraging us to accept that life has both ups and downs and to not let temporary emotions control us. Ninth, we have the importance of duty, or dharma. In chapter 3, verse 35, the Gita says it's better to live your own life imperfectly than imitate someone else's perfectly. CBT stresses the same, self-acceptance and the idea that we should focus on our own path rather than constantly comparing ourselves to others. And finally, selfless action. The Gita encourages acting without attachment, performing every action as an offering. While CBT doesn't involve spirituality, it does encourage acting in line with your values and letting go of ego-driven actions. So there you have it, 10 powerful teachings from the Bhagavad Gita compared to modern-day CBT. Both offer incredible insights into how we can master our minds, let go of unhealthy attachments, and live more fulfilling lives. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and remember, both ancient wisdom and modern science have a lot to teach us. See you in the next video.